What is going on, folks? Wow. Another crazy day in the markets. And I am happy to say I just have no position on right now just because of this wackiness. Came in today and was able to just scratch my short. I came in short volatility and I wrote it down yesterday. And if I'd gotten out of it yesterday, I would have recorded a nice profit. But as it was, I was able to essentially just scratch the trade. I think I bought this put spread paying $1.97 and I sold it out for $2.03. So I made enough to cover my positions plus like 5 cents or something. But grateful to have made 5 cents coming in short today, and grateful that I was able to just bail out of it on the open. More craziness today. I think this may have something to do with just the more of this virus stuff around the country, and real sideways action on the market. Those of you who were looking to get out of your TVIX, this was a good pop today to facilitate that. There are rumors going on that there's another 2 times leverage VIX product in the pipeline. Awaiting approval by the SEC, but who knows how long that will take. Anyway, yeah, the market just looking really kind of shady right now, and I'm not interested really at these levels to accumulate too much of a position one way or the other. It seems like we might get another shot to sell volatility a little bit higher. VVIX back up 6 points today. The VIX currently up 247, 33.84. We were up more than that at one point. And it's kind of like it's almost like the level of the VIX right now is just kind of justified where it is, and so it doesn't want to go down, it doesn't want to go up, and there's not a lot of curvature in the VIX term structure just because we're at kind of a high vol level, but we're moving around to justify that. And so it's a little bit like the I don't know if you guys watched Volatility Views or not last week, but it's a little bit like that, where like there's not a whole lot to do in volatility right now because yes, we're at a high vol, but the market's moving around enough to justify that. And but that doesn't mean we couldn't spike from here or go lower. But it's not a situation where I want to put on any sort of big position. And I certainly don't want to, give away a lot of money here if we break one way or the other. So I'm very happy to be kind of risk off right now. You can sit there with your popcorn from the sidelines and watch things. You don't necessarily have to be in the market, to all the time. So it's kind of where I am, out of the market, and happy to still have my money intact as it is. Let's take a quick look at the term structure, and for that we'll go to VIX Central. Thanks. A lot of views generated by that TVIX video thing, it's always great to have views, I suppose. Let's go to this chart. Let me get out of the way here real quick. And we see the term structure, like really flat, as I said. Typically, when we are in a contango situation, when vol is down, but they're anticipating maybe we're going to get a pop, you have that contango thing. But right now, it's, as I said, it's just like we're at a high volatility area and we're moving around. So it kind of makes sense. There's not a whole lot of edge one way or the other, or putting a lot of plays on right now, it seems. If I had just yesterday just covered this trade that I put on the day before, it would have been a nice winner. But instead, I made some money on paper yesterday and I just gave it back today. And if I hadn't been really limber right on the open to get out of the spread I had on, I would have actually lost money on the whole trade. So grateful to it. Some days it just feels like a huge winner to not have lost money, and it kind of feels that way today for me here. Sitting where I am. I got a ton of questions on that TVIX video yesterday, and a lot of them surrounded what happens if you just don't do anything and you leave your position on, whether it be long or short, after it is delisted. And I strongly encourage people not to do that. From what I understand, just briefly reading the literature, what's going to happen is it will be traded. The position will still exist somewhere over the counter. Somebody had a question where they were saying that they read somewhere that if they just leave their TVIX short on in 3 years or something, the fund will dissolve it and they'll get to buy it back in for zero or something. That sounds not right to me. So if you're thinking that like you're short TVIX and you're just going to leave it and it will automatically go to zero somehow, I would recheck your prospectuses, because that just doesn't sound right to me. My recommendation to people is just to get out of your TVIX position or any of those other ETPs that are closing. If you want to mess with it beyond when it's delisted, that's, you're kind of on your own there. And I would not advise that. Hey, what's up, Sean S? And so that's kind of where we stand on that. There's plenty of other products to use for volatility. The market just doesn't look good at all to me. It doesn't seem like we're justified to be this high. I did briefly put a position on in this household goods. It's called XHB. And I got this idea from TheoTrade. And this is the Home Builders ET exchange traded product. And the point that they were making at TheoTrade was basically like, look, this has come back to where it was before any of this crisis even started. Now, are we in as good a shape as far as building houses and selling stuff to build houses as we were before all this stuff happened? And if you say no, then you could think, well, maybe it isn't justified that this came all the way back and you could sell something. And so that was kind of my point. I did put on a put spread, and we went down, and I sold the put. I bought a put spread. We went down. I sold it out, and then the trade was over basically for me. So I made a little money on that. That was great, but it was just a quickie kind of thing as the first sell-off happened today. If we do look at the action, we were down as much as almost 3% in the in almost pretty much every different major index today. This is the story of the E-minis here, and you can see the lowest point we were at was like about 11:45 this morning, and then we just kind of bounced around down here, and we couldn't really get too far off the floor. So I don't think that we're in danger of a huge vol spike, because when you're already at a VIX of 33, there just isn't the energy, pent up energy to get like a huge spike. But, if we do roll lower, we could grind lower. In 2001, when we had that sort of tech bubble thing, and what happened was, it wasn't like there was a crash and it's all, this big down move and that's it. It was more like grinding. So you could have a day like today, followed by another day like today, where it struggles to move higher. Hey, what's up, Eric? Nice to see you. It struggles to move higher, but it just doesn't quite make it, and it just feels like it's just gravel in like a vat, just gravel, just grinding against itself, and you just slowly move lower. And that can be kind of more painful in a way than just having the one-day event, just grinding lower day after day after day. But I'm happy that I'm in the mindset this last month that I'm not going to keep short vol positions on. I'm not going to keep like long market positions on during this period, because I don't have a bias that the market's like slowly moving higher, and I'd rather just come in with no position on or very small positions and just leave it at that. And so that's been very freeing for me to not have positions on and not be coming in every day and be like, oh no, not again. Oh no, not again. Been through, done all that stuff before. So, if I miss out on a vol contraction here because I wasn't in already, then so be it. But in the meantime, I can sleep at night. I don't have to worry about the next down move here. So grateful for that. I know when I look at Tesla, I was short Tesla and I did cover it, and of course it went down after I covered it. So too bad on that one. But yeah, that's kind of where we stand. Thanks to everybody who are Patreon supporters and channel memberships. I appreciate it. It does help pay the bills here as far as like internet and all that stuff. I don't make any money off that. If it gets to the level where I'm collecting a decent amount of money, then I guess I'll buy some new equipment and we'll do more interviews. I do have a guy who I hire sometimes to help me make videos, and if we, if we get more members, then I'll just hire him to help us make more videos, or maybe we'll buy a new camera or something. I don't know. But I appreciate the support from everybody, and I hope you guys are hanging in there. I did see somebody online where they were saying, "Oh, I'm long TVIX, and I saw your video where you said the VIX is definitely going back to 40, and so I'm long TVIX or something like that." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, did I say sometime that the VIX was definitely going back to 40, and people are buying TVIX based on what I said?" Because I don't really think that's what I said. I hope not. What I do. Let me clarify what I do say about TVIX. I recommend nobody ever hold it for more than 48 hours at a time. Don't follow what I do. I give example trades sometimes to just show what one trader does. I don't know your situation. I'm not licensed to give advice to people, and I don't know your situation. Everybody's situation is different. There could, some people watching this have millions of dollars. Other people are living check to check, and that's going to dictate, your risk tolerance, what you want to do, et cetera, et cetera. I don't recommend that you follow anybody, even if you see somebody who's a trader, who's a smart trader, who seems to be making money and all that kind of stuff. I don't recommend that you just follow their trades, because you're not going to know when they shift their positions, for one thing. And two, that's just not philosophically the way to make money, following what someone else does. You got to develop your own ideas and start to chase after them and just get in there and start doing it. Following someone else's ideas is not going to get you there. And maybe if, luckily some guy says get long Apple and then it goes up one day, that doesn't mean that, that's going to work the next time. So, develop your own ideas. The point of this channel to people is supposed to be an example of one trader. And then hopefully you can see examples of several different traders and develop your own style from that. So there you have it. I've been pretty active on Twitter. Check me out. The Twitter is at the famous Dave. I'll put it in the chat here. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Strange stuff going on right now, and I was hot for a little while, like a week or two. I was really hot and making money every day, and now I can feel that streak is gone, and now I'm just kind of not hot. I'm not as in tune as I was during that period, so I'm stepping back, biding my time on the sidelines here. And I know if I'm patient, then a lot of times if you're patient and you just kind of wait it out, all of a sudden the stars start to line up for you, and you'll see a trade and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's definitely something I want to do, and you'll enter the trade and you'll make money. But if you pressure and force it, it just doesn't, you end up getting into trouble. So I encourage you to always be willing also to reevaluate your positions. A lot of the people that I talked to that had these TVX positions on, some of them have had the TVX position for a long time, it sounded like, and they're kind of like a deer in the headlights. They're like, what do I do? I'm just going to wait it out until this is profitable again. You should be willing to reevaluate any positions you have on at any time, and if they don't make sense to you anymore, you should be flexible enough to just bail out of them. I was super confident about my short that I had in VXX the last 2 days. I was like, yeah, I might keep this on for months or years or whatever. But as soon as I came in this morning, I was like, I'm out. And that's just kind of reevaluating the situation as it comes up. And for me, a lot of trading is just a fear of losing money. I always want to protect what I have, and if I'm too fearful of losing money, then I'll pivot away from stuff. Okay, so there it is. Hey, what's up, Edward? Nice to see you. If you force it, you are more likely to remorse it. I think that's your saying, not mine. But either way, thanks always for your help in the chat. Not much of a chat today, but that is okay. So yeah, I mean, you can see it starting to whip around. The E-minis kind of been whipping between this like 30.54 and 30.39. They just whipped up about 10 points right on the close there. And, stuff's moving around, so be careful out there. All right, that's all I have for you right now. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.